What's going on, everyone? It's your boy, Sideswipe the Boss, back at it again with another tier list. And today, I decided that it was time to rank the movies of the DCAMU, or the DC Animated Movie Universe. And these are the movies from 2013 to 2020, I believe. I actually just finished watching all of them yesterday, I believe, because, I didn't get around to it till like like super late. So I was like, you know what? Let me go check these out because I'm hearing a whole bunch of hype about them. And trust me, the hype was deserved. The hype was well deserved for this universe, for real, for real. I am more than confident in saying that DC is now owning the animation game, between them and Marvel, for real, for real. But without further ado, let's just get into this tier list right away. And if you do enjoy this video, just hit that like button. It takes 2 seconds. And subscribe to the channel if you're new. We're still on the road to 1,000 subscribers, so any support helps. I'm trying to reach 800 subscribers by the end of July this month. That would be a great stepping stone, or like step in reaching my goal. So just keep on liking and keep on subscribing, and the support would be very appreciated. So yes, this is going to be a shorter tier list since there's only 16 movies in the DCAMU. But starting off that list, we have Justice League Flashpoint Paradox. This was the first one. It came out in 2013. And it was a great movie, in my opinion. A great way to start off the DCAMU. The Flash is a very interesting character. I liked his character a lot, especially since he was the main focus, with it being Flashpoint and all. The stakes were high, they were very high. I liked the war between Aquaman and Wonder Woman, their forces. No one was safe from dying because, even though Barry was going to erase it all anyway, it was still cool seeing how high the stakes were. Reverse Flash was a great main villain and all that. And I liked the bond, or sort of bond or relationship between Barry and Thomas Wayne. That was pretty cool. In that ending scene where he delivers that note to Bruce Wayne from his father, that was pretty cool to see. Made me tear up a little bit. So this movie is gonna go in the A tier. Very strong start for the DCAMU. Next up, we have Justice League War. And this was a great movie, a really, really great movie. This was my favorite DCAMU movie for a while. It was great. I love all the introductions they got to all the Justice League members, how they came together to fight Darkseid for the first time. Darkseid was a great villain. I'd say my favorite people in the Justice League War movie were probably Green Lantern, probably Flash too, and Superman, just because they had quippy banter and quippy one-liners. They were funny too. But yeah, it was just a great movie, some great action moments, and it's just great seeing the Justice League come together for the first time. So this is going in the S tier. Next up, we have Son of Batman, and it was a pretty cool movie. It was cool seeing Damian Wayne, introduction to him, and introduction to, him and Bruce Wayne's dynamic as father and son. Deathstroke was a pretty cool villain as well. And Nightwing, he had a pretty decent intro in the movie as well. He didn't really do too much in there. He was just there to show Dick Grayson is already established as Nightwing. But he was alright. And I didn't really care for the banter between Batman and Talia. But it was a pretty alright movie nonetheless. So it's going to go in the B tier. Next up, we have Justice League Throne of Atlantis. And this was a pretty great film as well. It had the introduction to Aquaman into the Justice League. That was pretty cool. They had some pretty cool fight scenes in there as well. I like seeing how the Justice League was still kind of learning how to work together and stuff like that. And, finally becoming established at the end. That was pretty cool. And yeah, like I said, Aquaman's origins, or maybe not origins, but, intro into the Justice League. It was pretty great in this movie. And Ocean Master, he was a decent villain. He wasn't great or he wasn't bad or anything, but he was a pretty cool villain nonetheless. So this is going to go in the B tier above Son of Batman. Next up, we have Batman vs. Robin, and this film was just okay. Like, it wasn't great or anything. It was just okay. Batman and Robin, they only fought for what, like a couple minutes in the whole movie. Talon wasn't a very interesting main villain. And, all in all, in the end, Batman and Robin came back together again. So it wasn't nothing too special. So it's going to go in the C tier for me. Next up, we have Batman Bad Blood. And this was another okay film. I mean, Batwoman was kind of annoying until like the very end. She was cool at the end. Talia wasn't a very interesting main villain in my opinion. There were some pretty cool fight scenes as well, but other than that, it wasn't that interesting. I mean, it was kind of cool seeing Dick Grayson being Batman, even though, he didn't want to be Batman. But other than that, it was just an okay movie once again. So it's going to go in the C tier, but above Batman vs. Robin. Next up, we have Justice League vs. Teen Titans. And this is probably my least favorite movie in the DCAMU. Just because, I wasn't too big a fan of this iteration of the Teen Titans. I mean, I guess it was cool seeing like Starfire leading them and stuff like that. But I wasn't too interested in most of their stories. Raven is probably the only one who I liked on the team. Well, and the addition of Damian Wayne, I guess. And I mean, the two teams didn't really fight each other that much. They only fought each other once again for like a few minutes out of the whole movie. Trigon was a pretty decent villain, but I mean, he kind of got taken down very quickly before he got to do some real damage. So this movie is going to go in the D tier. Next up, we have Suicide Squad Hell to Pay, and this was a great movie. I really, really like this iteration of the Suicide Squad. This is what I wish the live action movie was. Just seeing the great banter between all the team members. It worked very well in my opinion. They all had great chemistry. The villains are pretty cool. That reverse Flash twist and that connection to Flashpoint was great. I really liked that. And yeah, probably my favorite one is Captain Boomerang, just because he was like cracking all the jokes and he was hilarious. But yeah, it was just a great movie overall. So this is probably going to go in the A tier, just below Flashpoint Paradox. Next up, we have Justice League Dark. And this was a pretty alright film. I mean, it was kind of interesting to see the magic side of the DC universe. Well, this DC universe. I mean, Constantine was cool. I really liked him. I liked Deadman too. He was pretty funny as well. I don't even remember the villain's name. I didn't really care for him that much. And Swamp Thing, even though he's pretty cool in like the comics and stuff, he barely did anything in this movie, and he got taken out really easily in my opinion. So this is gonna go in the C tier, just above Batman Bad Blood. Next up, we have Teen Titans: The Judas Contract, and this was a little better than the last Teen Titans movie, but not by much. Terra was really annoying, like one of the most annoying characters in this whole universe. Deathstroke, I mean, he was alright. He wasn't as good as he was in his last appearance. Don't even get me started on that him and Terra stuff. That was just so weird. Brother Blood, he wasn't a very interesting villain. And when he just combined all his powers, I mean, that was just kind of weird. I did enjoy the relationship or romance between Starfire and Nightwing. That was pretty alright. And, like I said, Raven's story was still kind of progressing along, so I like that as well. So this is also going to go in the D tier, but above Justice League versus Teen Titans. Next up, we have The Death of Superman, and this movie was great. Amazing, even. The emotion was all there. It was on point. The action was amazing. Like, literally, the whole back half of the movie was just straight action between the Justice League and Superman versus Doomsday. Like, it was just awesome. Lex Luthor, pulling strings in there as well. That was pretty cool, trying to make himself out as the hero of Metropolis and the world even. And yeah, his death, Superman's death, it was very emotional. It was just great seeing that in like a movie format, seeing that comic in like a movie format. It was just great overall. So this movie is definitely going at the top of the S tier for me. Next up, we have Reign of the Supermen, and this was a pretty good film as well. It wasn't as good as its predecessor, but it was still a worthy sequel in my opinion. It was interesting, all the Supermen all in about. I really liked this iteration of Superboy. It was pretty good. I like seeing the introduction of Steel, with John Henry Irons. And Cyborg Superman being the main villain and being a pawn of Darkseid, that was a pretty great twist, and I really enjoyed that. And Superman's return was great as well. So this is going to go at the bottom of the A tier for me. Next up, we have Constantine, City of Demons. And this movie was just mostly boring, to be honest. Not too much happened that I was interested in. I mean, Constantine was great once again. I mean, Matt Ryan always knows how to kill it as Constantine. And it was cool seeing his origins as well. But I could care less about everything else in that movie. I could care less about the other characters. I could care less about the villain. Like, I could care less. The only thing that really happened was I think he joined the Justice League in this movie. Or was that in Justice League Dark? I don't know. I don't remember. But yeah, this movie was just mostly boring, to be honest. So it's going to go in the D tier, just between the Judas contract and Justice League versus Teen Titans. Next up, we have Batman Hush. And this is my favorite Batman movie in the DCAMU. Just because it was really cool seeing all of Batman's rogues gallery, come together to work under Hush and try to defeat Batman. And the twist with Hush being Riddler. I mean, I know it happens in the comics, but it was still kind of shocking to see it, in that movie as well. There are some great action scenes too. I admit the Metropolis and Superman edition, that was kind of random, to be honest, and it just brought the movie down a little bit for me. But other than that, it was still a good movie overall. So this is going to go at the A tier, just above Reign of Superman. Next up, we have Wonder Woman Bloodlines, and it was a pretty solid movie. It was cool seeing Wonder Woman's origins and her origins with Steve Trevor. I mean, most of the villains weren't very interesting. Like whoever that angel lady was, I forgot her name. She wasn't interesting. But when Medusa showed up, that's when the movie turned up to 11 real quick. Like, literally, that whole third act is what saved the movie for me, in my opinion. That third act was great. We got to see how awesome Wonder Woman was in that fight. It was just a great third act. That's really why this movie is going where it's going to go, because of that third act. But yeah, it was a pretty solid film overall. So it's going to go at the bottom of the B tier for me. And finally, we have Justice League Dark Apocalypse War. And man, what a conclusion to this universe, for real. Like, this movie was amazing, awesome, through the roof. Emotions were through the roof. There were stakes all across the board, high stakes. It was literally a roller coaster ride watching this movie, because I was just gasping and just woeing and all that throughout the movie. The action was great. The time jump worked for this movie, for real. You saw the heroes at their lowest, and even when they thought they won, there's still like stuff to do, and if they didn't, the planet would like die or blow up, I believe. And yeah, it was just awesome overall. And this movie kind of solidified, Raven as my favorite Titan in this universe, because you know, seeing her story progress throughout, I think it was like the 3 or 4 movies she was in. It was awesome. Raven and Robin's relationship was actually not bad. Like, I honestly was kind of shipping them a little bit. And it was cool seeing they got their final moments together at the end. Like I said, the fight scenes were amazing. You know, that Trigon versus Darkseid at the end, like, bruh, that was awesome. And the ending scene with Flash running again, causing another flashpoint. I kid you not, that made me cry. Like, literally a whole tear went down my face seeing that, because I don't know, I was emotionally invested because of this movie. And oh man, that was just a great conclusion to this universe. So y'all already know where it's going. It's going in the S tier. Look how long I talked about it. Like, it was just so awesome. It was a great conclusion to this great universe. So yeah, that's the tier list, folks. Nothing in the F tier. In the D tier, we have Teen Titans, the Judas Contract, Constantine, City of Demons, and Justice League versus Teen Titans. In the C tier, we have Justice League Dark, Batman Bad Blood, and Batman vs. Robin. In the B tier, we have Justice League Throne of Atlantis, Son of Batman, and Wonder Woman Bloodlines. In the A tier, we have Justice League Flashpoint Paradox, Suicide Squad Hell to Pay, Batman Hush, and Reign of the Supermen. And in the S tier, we have Justice League Dark Apocalypse War, The Death of Superman, and Justice League War. So that's the tier list, folks. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let me know in the comment section down below what your tier list is for this universe of movies. Are they the same as mine? Would you change it a bit? Would you change it a lot? Just let me know that in the comment section down below. Also, let me know what tier list you would like to see next. And if you did enjoy this video, just hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you're new. And I will catch you guys next time. Peace out.